Good afternoon, my esteemed educators. Good afternoon. It's nice to be here. Glad to be here. I say a big thank you to the organizers of TOSSE. I'm very impressed. And I also acknowledge the speakers who have come before me. Some of them I had known before, some just listening to them today. But one thing that I can say is that some of the things that I'm going to do mostly start in our schools with welcoming everybody. And I'd like you to stand up for a very short exercise. So I'm going to combine my welcome song and my exercise because I know you've already exercised already. I know that. So, let's go. Hello, 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 Anna. Hello, 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 Anna. I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Again, hello, 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 Anna. I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. One more time, and I'll be glad if I see everybody standing. You do know what my topic is. Improving student engagement and motivation. So I'd like you all to be engaged. And when you are engaged, you're motivating me. So let's go. One more time. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. All right, thank you. Please sit down. Thank you very much. I still didn't get some people to stand up. And that's what happens in classes. Sometimes you really... So maybe if I had employed some more strategies, I would have put in everybody. But we do not have the time to do that now. I hope that that will be covered during my session. So, again, I welcome you all. So, let's dive in. As an educator, improving students' engagement in an activity and instilling motivation is a crucial aspect of helping them develop a positive attitude towards learning, personal growth, and inspiring curiosity in them. So, we want to get our children engaged and we want to motivate them. Not only because we want them to learn, not only because of the subject matter that we have come to teach, but also because of their personal growth. So it goes beyond learning, it goes beyond maths and science. It goes into their personal development and their personal growth. And this happens together. You cannot take one away from the other. As you're engaging the children, you must be motivating them. Today we'll be discussing and exploring some effective strategies that we can use to instill motivation in our students and improve their engagement. As an educator, I believe that we start teaching and we start impacting on the children even before we leave home. Even before we leave home, even before we get into our classroom. Who agrees with me? Who agrees that you actually prepare yourself before you leave home? Do you agree? You want to say something about that? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mrs. Abibe, an educator, you prepare from home in the sense that before it's like a previous knowledge, because you know your children and you know those that are having challenges. And today, I'm going to introduce a new topic. How do I get this child to understand? From home, start thinking about that, start preparing before you get to school.
Fantastic. Who knows how to roll it up? Who knows the roll? If you do, please can we roll it up for the sake? Sorry, what's your name again? Mrs. Adibe. Let's roll it up for Mrs. Adibe. I'm letting go. Bravo. As the first person who has responded, I have little before you. Well done. I'm very impressed. Well done. Yes, so you start from home. You start from home by preparing yourself mentally. You have to be ready. You have to be eager to meet your children. I don't know how many people have seen that video where the teacher stands at the door as the children are coming in, and some of them give a high five, some of them touch their heart, some of them wiggle, some of them give a hug. And even from that, if the teacher is not ready, if the teacher is gloomy and not in a good state of mind, do you think the teacher can do that? And when the children come in, a child that would usually ask help, if that child comes on a particular day and goes just like that, do you think the teacher would notice? Do you think the teacher would notice? The teacher should notice, and the teacher should do something about it. And that's about knowing your child, knowing the child. Now, we say every child is unique. Is that not just a cliche? Is that something that we all just say, oh, it's all over the place now, every child is unique? Or do you actually understand that every child is unique? And do you prepare for the uniqueness of every child? So, every child is unique. Every child is special. In your classrooms, you will have neurotypical children and you will have neurodivergent children. How do you prepare for them? Because every day is different and your activities are different and you want them all to be engaged. So, if I do know that there's a particular child who has a negative reaction to sensory, like lights or, yes, like lights, would I then come and make the child sit down here doing my activity where the light is just above his head and is going to make him very uncomfortable? No. If I know that there is a child who needs to go to the restroom every 15 minutes because this child has a disability or a health challenge, where would I position the child? Fantastic, at the door. So when we say that the children are unique, they're unique in so many ways. Of course, there's the uniqueness of they have their own learning styles, which as teachers we all know that there's so many different learning styles. But beyond that, now we're also aware that there are challenges. Some challenges are visible, some are not visible, but it does not mean that it's not there. A child that is living with autism that is on the spectrum, it may be visible, yeah, you can easily know. But a child who is living with ADHD, attention deficit, who wants to talk about ADHD? Anybody wants to tell me? Okay, right there behind. Come forward, please. So, a child living with ADHD, you may not know, but that child has a disability, has a teacher. Thank you.
ADHD. Gabriel. Also, ADHD is an extra. So, in this situation, the child is to school. So, the child is just too exuberant that when you're trying to teach him a particular thing, he doesn't focus on it. I get it. Mine's always going left, right, left. So,
You have to know your child. You have to plan accordingly. Make sure that you meet the needs of the different children. As educators, we are like an octopus. 8, 9 hands, everything, you know, being able to do so many things at the same time seamlessly without making it obvious to everybody that is there. Establish a positive and learning environment. As an educator, to be able to engage and motivate the children, you need to establish a positive environment. So, an enabling positive environment. When I walk into the room, how do I feel? How do the children feel when they come into your classroom? Do they feel like, oh, this is a lovely place, I'd like to be here? Are they happy to be in your class? Does your class enable them to do things? Or do you have a class that is so tidy, everything is in place, or everything up there where the children cannot reach it, but it looks very beautiful? Is that what your class is like? Or is your class one where a child comes in, even if you're not there, the child is able to start learning by just reading things on the wall? Oh, today is a beautiful day. Today is a good day to start something nice. Today, the child can reach for pencils, can reach for notepads. The child has, you know, access to resources to start learning without having to wait for the teacher or ask or take permission before the child can engage in the room. Your classroom needs to be engaging. We need to set clear learning goals. When the children are in class and you start to teach them, do they know where you're taking them? Do they know what the objective of the lesson? Do they know? Are they aware, or is everything just jumbled up? There's no clarity, so they can't tell when they're making progress or they're not making progress. Number 7, the teachers and TOSSE are saying towards an activity. Display your passion for teaching and the subject you're covering. The speaker before me said something about, there's a lot of work that teachers do, and maybe we don't get paid as much as we'd like to. Is that written all over your face? Do you have that attitude when you're in class? Or you genuinely like what you're doing? You genuinely want to impact knowledge on the children? So I have 3 photos here. And the age group, the year group of the children that you're teaching matters, and that determines the different strategies that you can use. So, in this case, there's a teacher there. This was me about 20 years ago, teaching early years, and 2 children out there choosing to draw in the playground on the floor. That's their choice. Some other children were writing in their notebooks, some were doing other things, but these 2 children chose that they wanted to express themselves like this. And what did the teacher do? Not only do you look at what they're doing, not only do you ask questions, give them an opportunity to present, you also stoop and come down to their level. It shows that you really are interested in what they're doing. And this could be in other ways. If I walked into a class now where there's artificial intelligence and they were using computers and technology, I would genuinely sit down beside the teenagers or the young adults and be focused the same way that I am focused here, wanting to learn from them. Another one going on here. These are JS2 children, and getting engaged, showing interest, bend down, reach out to them, be involved, engage them, let them know that they matter and their knowledge You want to share their knowledge. They are facilitating. You want feedback from them, just like it's going on in these pictures here. So, role modeling. We are role models for the children that we teach. And we do not motivate them by telling them that do this and do that only. We motivate them from how we also carry ourselves, how we respond, how we handle things. So, your children come into class, and I tell you, most of these children, they are a bit more techie advanced than some of the teachers that we have. How do you let them know that it's okay to want to learn from them as well? So that in return, you also are teaching them that you can motivate them the way they can motivate you. So, show me, really, tell me, what else can this do? I'm going to go and research on it. You know, I really don't know much about this, and I've been hearing so much about this artificial intelligence. I think it's about time I pick it up too and gather some knowledge. And you will find some of the teenagers say, don't worry, I can help you. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. And that motivates the child. That is motivation on its own. So, I have this quote from Du Bois. Children learn more from what you are than what you teach. They learn more from what you are than what you teach. Who agrees with that statement? If you agree with it, do you want to say something about it? Who wants to say something about it? Okay, so.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica, and my reason for agreeing with the statement above is this. Just like the popular saying goes, do as I, some people will say do as I say, not as I do. Now, bringing it to this light, your personality as a teacher, as an educator, is what your pupils, your learners, or your students will always look back on. That's what they will always fall back on. Not just by the things, the instructions you give them in the class. You know, one of our facilitators said something, that you might be teaching a particular thing and then doing something else. What do you think the children will learn from? From what you're doing, because what you're doing translates, you know, into who you are, your personality. So it's not just by what we say in the class. The children also watch your actions. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done. That is impressive. Thank you. You nailed it. Build trust and positive relationship. Build trust and positive relationship. That's so important. It goes beyond just teaching them. You need to have a rapport with the children. You need to have a relationship with them. They have to be able to know that they can come to you and talk to you about issues that they have. They have to. You have to, someone said earlier, I walked in when Dr. Isa was saying that don't be their friend. Yes? Was that what she said? Yes, don't be their friend, but let them know that they can trust you. Let them know that you are reliable. Let them know that they can come to you when they have issues. Right? And that's what I mean by build trust and have a positive relationship. Okay, so I'm going to give you a sticker. Well done. Punch it on your forehead. Fantastic. So you can plot it. And when you get home, make sure you tell your mommy why you earned this sticker. Right? Okay. According to the glossary of education reform, student engagement refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, interest, optimism, and passion that students show when they're learning or being taught. Learning or being taught, which extends to the level of motivation they have to learn and progress in their education. So, There is learning and there is teaching. That has an effect on the progress in their education. How well you teach them and how well they learn. How well will they learn? They would learn better if they're more engaged. Remember what our topic is? Engaging and motivating children. They would learn better when they are more engaged, and they would also learn better when they are motivated. So bear that in mind, that it makes a lot of difference to the progress that they will make in their education. So we've said all of this, and we believe that we'll all remember all of this. And like it happened in this room earlier, sometimes we are simply unable to engage some students. So what do? Let's look at the other strategies that we can use. And I'm sure that you have some more. Okay, getting the interest of an interested child and maintaining the engagement throughout an activity can be challenging. But there are several proven strategies you can employ as an educator. Number one, use the interactive and hands-on approach. Interactive and hands-on approach. Don't just stand in front of the children and talk, and you finish talking. Children are listening, they're very attentive children, they don't want to disturb the class, they just put their hand on their chin just like that, and they're just hoping that very soon this class will be over and go home. But you make it interactive. You get them to answer questions, you get them to contribute to what you're saying, because you appreciate that they're also intelligent, just like I've had some very intelligent educators support and contribute to some points that I have there. You need to acknowledge that the children in your classroom, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they may have something to contribute. Hands-on activities, approach. So it's not just about taking notes. It's about being creative. It's about doing things so that they get the opportunity to stand up, to reinforce the learning and on what you have taught them. Relevance. Connect the activity to the child's interest. Connect the activity to the child's interest. So, and as educators, if you know your children, that's when you know their interest. If you know your children, you build a good relationship with them, like we said earlier, then you will know their interest. So, for someone like me now, I'm not very much interested in football. But if I have a child in my class that I know that is a football freak, then I'm going to have to learn some things about football. And I'm going to have to get into class and talk about Manchester United and Liverpool. And when I was preparing my notes, I was trying to think of football teams from when I was young. And I could not think of any. And you know, I was thinking, but what we're going on to, why is it just Man U and Liverpool and Man City that I know now? Please, who knows some football teams that from the 80s? Yes, which other one? Babes, well done. I remembered some names. I remembered Odegbami's name, and I remembered another name. But sorry, Mambo. Yeah, I remember that as well. Well done. So you know, you have to use their interest to get their attention. Like the people sitting right behind in this class now, I'm going to have to try and engage some of them. So let's see. Incorporate different types of activities like visual aids, auditory, group work, individual tasks. Who can tell me? You know, we talk about different learning styles. Right behind here, which learning styles do you incorporate in your class to get your children engaged? Is there anyone that would like to contribute? Scenarios? Say something? Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mr. Steve Tokwe. Basic for them to learn from, make them to understand what they are actually teaching them.
Thank you very much. Creating scenarios. Yes, create a scenario for the children. Like you can give them 2 life scenarios and ask them how they'll solve it or how they can make things better. Just get them involved so that they have an opportunity to talk. You can even read, when you read a storybook to children, don't just read the book and then close the book. Tell them that ask them what they would have done differently. Ask them which of the characters they like best and why they like that character. Use open-ended questions. I believe that I heard somebody say that, I think it was the tech guy, who mentioned that as well. Group work. When you engage them in group work and you give them different roles, you can choose to assign roles or you can even let them decide who's going to do what. So now we have a project to do. Somebody has to write down the points. That's getting them engaged. Somebody has to present. Somebody has to draw. And somebody might decide that they want to add a song to it, knowing their different strengths and their different challenges. When you know your children, you know that child who cannot stand in front of the crowd and talk, but has all the knowledge in his head, understands everything that you have said. Are we now going to say when it's time for presentation or when it's time for assessment because he's unable to write it down, that he's bad? No, you will have different assessment tools. And then technology comes in. This child can type out his response. Give them such opportunities. Some children can draw. Some children can, what else can the other children do? So I've spoken about the ordinary child who can.
My name is Daniel. Another way is the child maybe efficient in writing to tell the invigilator what the answer he wishes to say, and the person will write it down.
For a child who has stage fright or not very good at public speaking, but does know the answer, this child can talk to the invigilator and then the invigilator helps. Or the child's voice can be recorded and then it's played out using technology for the other people to hear. Fantastic, good one. So, okay. Okay, I also heard earlier gamification, using games, turn it into a competition, using games. Sometimes, I'm more of an early years and junior school teacher. So if I have secondary school teachers here, high school teachers, and you'd like to support my point with, an experience from your stage of education, please just raise up your hand and I'll acknowledge you. So, I've had cases where I have played Ludo in class with my children because I want to teach them how to add. So we throw the dice, 5 plus 5, what does that give you? And after some time, they were very quick to pick up. They enjoyed the game. They started to play the game. Then we do snakes and ladders, and you've gone up the ladder, and you have to go down how many steps, where are you going to land? And you will see children who would ordinarily be quiet or not be focused in class, get involved, and get really excited. And then they say, are we playing games today? Are we playing? Okay, some days we're not playing games, but I can say that, during your break time, if you would like to play a game, you can just sit there and play games with your friend, knowing that they're playing games, they're bonding, and they're also learning. Sense of challenge and accomplishment. So we start from playing games in our classroom, and then you realize that this your child that is very quiet, that usually does not get involved. When you now introduce games, this child he just bubbles. Then you encourage the child. Then from playing games in class, to playing games with the next year group. So a child in year 3, you might decide that you're going to the teacher in year 4 that, you know what, I have a child in my class that stands out in this area. Do you have anybody in your class that is willing to compete with him? And then you bring them together. So he starts to compete with the class above him. And then the next thing, we're doing school versus school, our school versus your own school. And then we're moving from our school to actually competing with children in other countries because we're able to use technology. So everything is not just talking. Use visual aids. You can, another thing that you can do, and these are also props and visual aids. So you're teaching a very, you're moving from one topic to another. The children go home on Tuesday and their classes are arranged like this, everybody facing the board, and they come in on Wednesday and the class arrangement has changed. And you know, the resources around, you set up a scenario. When they come into class, the first thing they will be doing is looking around and thinking, what's going to be happening today? Why did they move our chair? Why is this post office standing there? Why is this doctor's unit here? Why is there a supermarket stand there? And they're wondering what's going on. And then they start to talk. And you know what? You can just sit there and listen to them talk. And you will get ideas from them. Some of them will say, maybe this is what we want to do. Maybe that's what we want to do. Blah, 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 blah. They're getting engaged. They've already started engaging in the lesson even before you have started teaching them. And then you can go back and say, I heard you saying that. That was very smart of you. That's motivating. And that child that will not even come out may have said something, just one word, and you choose to celebrate that child. That I heard you say my mommy took me to the dentist, and the dentist used the mirror to, just say something, and you will celebrate that child who was able to talk quietly in a group of 3 people, but may not be able to come out and talk to the whole class. So, peer teaching, sit down in groups and exchange views and knowledge. Obviously, you will be close enough to listen and to correct misconceptions. So, when there's peer teaching, you're not sitting at your desk and just leaving them to be talking amongst themselves. You're walking in between them, you're bending down to listen, you're bending down to look at what they're doing, to confirm that they are not misleading one another. So, can I get somebody to read this for me? In my class, I do like it when people put up their hands and I call out. So, okay, excuse me, left hand.
Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. John F. Kennedy.
Thank you. Good begin. That was loud and clear. Did everybody hear her behind? You did? So let's put our hands together for her if you heard her behind. Thank you. That was good reading. Good job. Okay. Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. Now, this decision to try, where does it usually come from? Whose decision is it? Whose decision? Your decision, yes. Your decision, okay. So, two people have said that decision is their decision. Is it always the child's decision to try? Sorry. You think it's the teacher's decision? Okay, she thinks it's a teacher's decision. Two people here think that it's a child's decision. Let's think about it for a second. Say something. Thank you.
Can actually make the child ready for him or her to take that decision.
Thank you. Yes, if the child is not ready. When you say if the child is not ready, that means that you're confirming that the child could be ready. So those who said that it comes from the child, they're right. And you are also saying that we can also, as educators, motivate the child. Put your hands together for yourself. Everybody. That's not loud enough. And then people sleeping. If somebody's sleeping, it's like, nudge the person. So let's have a louder round of applause for everybody in this room. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so yes, I do agree that it should come from the child, and you as an educator, as an adult, you can also motivate the child. Motivation refers to a process of inducing and stimulating oneself. So for those who said that it comes from the child, you're right. Or others, from those who believe that somebody else motivates. To act in a certain manner. To act in a certain manner. To learn. To be involved, to want to do things, to want to succeed, usually to be the best that they can be. Motivation, is it intrinsic or extrinsic? Which one is it? That's what we just said. Intrinsic, does it come from the child? Or extrinsic, is it something that comes from external contributions like the educator, the mommy, or the daddy?
Yeah. I know that these days people will say the other one, the extrinsic motivation is especially when you ask to with money. But if you are motivated within, which is the intrinsic motivation, it goes a long way, because the extrinsic motivation can go away. But when you are internally within yourself, when you are motivated, you are inspired to do something, it lasts longer and it bears better fruit.
Thank you, thank you. So it feels that when it's intrinsic, it will last longer, because it is your desire, as opposed to when you are first to do something, or it's pressure, or So okay, that's a point. That's a point, because some things you just do it for the purpose, for what you're looking forward to. 1 minute, please. For what you're looking forward to. But if it comes from you, it can last forever and ever, even until old age. You're still carrying out that activity, even after you help Mrs. Afolabi's class.
I think that even if it comes from you, it could still die, because somebody can kill that motivation. Someone can still tell you, who do you think you are? Why are you speaking? Will you shut up when I talk? So I think it should be both. I think it is both intrinsic and extrinsic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please go ahead and clap for her. And I do agree with what she said. Why don't you say something?
Okay. I actually fell on that. It could be both. Now, it could be both. Essence of this child to be inside the box. No matter how we have this thing, there's always something, there's a previous learning to what you've already learned. There's always a knowledge to something, or there's something that connects everything. Nobody can kill whatever you definitely along the span of life and the phase of life, find something you have learned.
Okay, so I hear you, but I also hear her. I do know that it is not impossible for a bad teacher to kill some, strengths and skills and suppress some children. I do know that that's possible. And also the exceptional child that will be able to pick herself up, but not every child will be able to pick themselves up. So when you have those children that they come into class, they're very smart and they talk and whatever, and you start to hear, ITK, she's not educated, some children just go quiet. They lose it, which we don't want, And they're also, and this is even from their peers. Then let's talk about, I know the narrative has changed, but those days when we used to read storybooks, most of the storybooks that we read, the stepmother was always wicked. That has changed now. We know better. Not every stepmother is wicked. But in those days, some stepmothers can actually kill skills and strengths in children. Right or wrong? But then, the same children, 2 children, raised by a stepmother, one of them not agree. She would not agree and she will still continue to, be who she is, and the other one may just become herself. I have seen it happen, I know that it happens. So it could be either or. Okay, very quickly.
Good afternoon, everybody. Like my colleague said, it's both. I'd like to give an example. Some years back, we got a student who the mother calls her Mumu from primary school. Mumu, M-U, the mother. So when you want to teach her, maybe jokingly somebody makes a mistake, say, Mumu, and the girl will turn and look at you. So we became worried. I called her and I said, what is wrong with you? You don't talk in the class. You are always like this, from morning till when we close. We found out that the mother calls her Moo, so she remains a Moo, and that got us angry. So we had to call the mother, and we started talking until that child, at the end, by the time she finished JSS3, she made all her papers, she was always smiling. So this is not just the internal part. We'll talk about what the children get from home, the environment, where they come from. You can't compare those who live in Lekki to those who live in Bariga or Mushin, because they may pick some things from the environment and bring it to school. So you have to look for a way to bring it down and at the same time motivate them to do something better with their lives.
Well done. Yes. And it is our goal when children come with such baggage. As educators, we have to help them to unburden the baggage. Goes back to what I said about children coming in and how they greet their teacher. A child who would usually come in and want a hug and a high five and scrolling and bouncing, and suddenly starts to come in like this. You have to notice, and you have to do something about it. Please, it goes beyond getting paid for a job. Your job goes beyond just teaching. You need to connect with the children. You need to have a relationship with them. You need to have them. This was even the child's mother, not the wicked stepmother. So we need to help. And I'll tell you something. Please, it doesn't matter where the child is from. Whether it is Mushi or Neki, there are challenges everywhere. And every child should be supported, irrespective of the environment that they come out from. Children, I know some very popular bankers that a lot of us probably know about. They started off from Mushi. If you see them today, you just stare at them. I don't know, who knows those guys that started in Mushi and then they're running banks and they're doing very well. Okay, nobody knows. So go and read about the people that started GTB Bank and read where they started from and where they are now. I don't know if they motivated themselves or their teachers motivated them, but they are excelling. They're doing really well and they become a motivation to so many people. And that's what we desire. So, intrinsic or extrinsic? When it's intrinsic, okay, so I have this here. Who wants to help me? We're talking about engagement. Remember, this class has to be very engaging, it has to be interactive. So who would like to help me? The intrinsic side, we have their passion, interest, curiosity, enjoyment, purpose, fun. What does that mean to anybody? Who can relate to that? Can anybody relate to that side? And then, okay, yeah, I have some hands up here. Can you take the mic down for me, please? Thank you. So which one of them do you want to talk about? Tell us which one.
The passion area.
The passion. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
About the passion area. Teacher, as a teacher.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
When we're talking about the passion area, as a teacher, when you have passion for what you are doing, you have interest in disseminating the knowledge back to the children, and you encourage the children to be inquisitive. Ask them questions just like when you are interacting with us now. Allow us to give us your idea, and from there you correct us, and let both sides know that your point is right, your own point is right, but we are seeing it from different perspectives. And the children, the pupils, they will enjoy the class. That way the enjoyment coming. And the purpose where you are teaching, you must be achieved at the end of the day. Then it must be fun. Learning must be born in this 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you. So, when it's intrinsic, it comes from a place of passion. You're passionate about what you're doing. The child likes to run. He just likes to run, so it means that doing inter-house sport is always out there. I'm going to represent my house. I'm going to make sure I get the cup for greenhouse because he's passionate about it. He's interested. Curiosity. You see some children, they just sit down with all the devices and they want to open it up and see how it has been put together. Some people will say that they're being destructive, but the child is motivated by curiosity to see how this noise that is coming out from this television, how is it coming out? I need to know. Curiosity. And so the child is motivated to put it apart and put it back together, and you start to recognize the engineering skills in the child. That's where as teachers we talk about STEAM, engineering. You notice it, the purpose, have a purpose, and it's fun. You simply just enjoy doing it. So you are motivated to do it more and more because you enjoy it. It is fun. So I'm going to go to the extrinsic side. Who wants to talk about that before we then talk about the middle areas? Extrinsic. Yes, thank you. Please can you give the lady that got answered the question, can you give her this? Thank you. To be honest. Okay, now, so I'm giving out gifts. Of course, we're not going to do that in our class all the time. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm doing it here now, yes, but we will not do that in class, that every time the child, somebody answers a question, they get a gift. Because, so, okay, so let's have it.
Thank you, Mrs. Oye.
Thank you.
Good.
Go ahead and mention my name, I like to hear it. Thank you.
My name is Ajibiye.
Ajibike.
Ajibiye. Yes.
Wow, that's a lovely name. Never heard it before.
Looking at the area of praise and reward as an extrinsic motivation, it actually goes a long way. Each time there's something attached to a particular thing you want to achieve, it naturally brings out that push to work towards achieving that particular purpose. Then looking at the area of praise, when you've done something, either as a teacher or student, and you end up getting that particular right or doing it in a good way and you are being praised, there's this encouragement in you that you can do better even in the most difficult task that you'll be given next time.
Fantastic, thank you. There's something I'd like to clarify, please. You said if there is something that you are going to get or that you want to get as a reward. Okay. So, are you saying that if I say to a child, if you learn your multiplication table, thank you, I will give you a sweet. Is that motivating the child? Is it motivation? Okay, if you like to say something, like I said, put up your hand. Can somebody please give the mic to someone who hasn't spoken from the side of the room where we haven't had any speaker, so that we can have a good balance.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Afolabi.
Not working.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Afolabi. From the perspective of reward, for example, child loves chocolate. Child is having issues or having multiplication table. So the child will be excited and want to do more, even without asking the child. The child might want to you, hey, excuse me, miss, what about the chocolate? I promise I will do more in my multiplication table. Or the child will be eager to do more.
Okay, so what if for the multiplication table, 2 times table, you give the sweet, and then it's time for 4 times table, and the child is dragging feet again. What do you now do this time? You use punishment. Okay? Punishment. Okay? Somebody wants to say something behind here. Thank you. So I give you sweets because you've learned your multiplication. I tell you, if you learn your multiplication, I will give you sweets. And then you learn. And then you come back and decide to learn 4 times table, and you're not learning again. What do I do?
My name is Emmanuel. Talk about about 2 weeks ago, during the summer coaching. So I asked I asked my pupils, the pupils in my class, for a particular question. It's a mathematical question, and in the class, none of them was able to get it. So I asked them to, it's a critical, it's a question that involves reasoning. So I asked them to reason, and then I promised them myself, okay, if I'm able to, get it, I will give you something. So that particular subject of mine encouraged some of them after some time, and one of them actually get the correct answer. I think that one motivated them to reason and reason more. Then concerning praise, I think praise is another thing that can also motivate learner. I remember many years ago when I just started, about 20 years ago, when I just started teaching, right on the they will not be praised. And then my answer is very good, not that good enough. So a colleague of mine, used to write very, very well. And on this particular day, my head teacher then wrote very good handwriting. So I don't know how, I just saw the comment in a lesson note and really encouraged me. So the funny thing like this, I did it, I come up and after my marriage, I was the one writing for the school this year. So I think praise the work goes a long way to encourage learners. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, it does. Clap, clap, clap for her. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead.
Nine. So my daughter has one special when 9, and then he has this routine. Once he's at the gate, head that on, stand by the door, shouting. So that once he comes in, just like this, not there, enter the family. But if you should come back and we're sleeping, oh my God, wash plate and that. So once you get film at the gate, up to the wall,
Exactly, yes, I remember that. To be honest, yes, in our old days, that was one of the ways that they used to motivate us. That is no longer allowed now in most, if not all, schools. It's no longer allowed, and even at home too, we're discouraging it. But it used to be a motivation. Motivation used to be a motivation, knowing that if I go home with a report like this, I'm in serious trouble. I dare not go home with a result or hearing something like, for my dad, what he never wanted to see in my report was, she can do better. Wow, that will put anybody in trouble in my house. You can do better. So what were you spending your time doing? Why does your teacher think that you are more able than you are? Why? So, yes. Okay, one more question before we go along. Is that? I still have time, so I know.
My name is Afolabi. Okay, so how do you help a child that banks on a strict motivation all the time? So in a scenario, for my class, I put up a lot of reward system for the children. I do stickers, I do chat board for them. But this particular child always yes, I'm here, man. Allow me. This particular child, strict motivation all the time. But I feel it's something that should come within. So what can I do to
I'm going to get to the questions very soon, and I'll start with your question, okay? I'll come back to that too. Let me just make sure that I can go through my slides, because my slides is all off. So, motivate a child, or it could be you motivating a child. Career success also can motivate somebody to do better. And I believe that those who got up to respond, they've done a good job on that. So we can move on from there. We'll come back to the right way of that. So very quickly, motivating a student, celebrate achievements, recognize and celebrate both small and big success. So many ways you can celebrate them. You can clap for them. That is motivation. You can call them out and just say beautiful things about them. When Mrs. Okunde called me out and she said nice things about me, it motivated me. I had known her since I was 10. We were in the same secondary school together. And you know, it put a smile on my face. The same way you can call a child out in assembly and just announce what the child has done and say something good. It doesn't always have to be gifts. It does not always have to be gifts. It could be praise, it could be stickers, it could be a trip, it could be time to do something that the child chooses to do.
I'm looking at the angle where if there is just situation, how about we have a situation where some children, they are looking forward to doing anything in their class based on motivation. I think probably we should strike a balance. Because some kids will just totally depend on the teacher to praise, rewards, and all of that. How about discipline? How about discipline? Doesn't that motivate children?
Does, and we're going to get to that. Thank you. Like I said, when I was giving out the gifts, I did say that it should not be used every time in the classroom. I have said now that even clapping for a child is motivation. Even calling a child out to celebrate a child without a physical or tangible gift is also motivation. So that has just been reinforced. Okay, encourage collaboration. This promotes teamwork, problem solving, and a shared sense of accomplishment. That is another motivation. When they're working together, children like to show what they know. When they're working with their peers, nobody wants to be the one that doesn't have anything to contribute. And what a child has to contribute might be different from what you have to contribute, but it is still valuable. So we have the best artist in the class who is going to draw for our presentation. We have the person with the best handwriting, like the teacher who came out earlier, who is going to write. That is motivation on its own without a reward. The reward there is we're all standing together as a team and everybody's clapping for us, and we're not even saying you drew and you wrote. This is our work. It is collective. That is motivation on its own. Cultivate a growth mindset. Encourage students to enhance challenges and view failures as opportunities for growth. So, in motivating, if a child comes out to talk and the child did not get the answer right, the fact that the child has made an effort, please acknowledge that and motivate that child. Do not make your class or your school a place where people are scared to open their mouth to talk because they'll be humiliated. We do not want people feeling like mumus. We do not want people feeling like they're ITK. When the children know that their efforts are rewarded, they'll be motivated to try. So, back to what you said, it's not all about gifts. It's about encouragement. It's about what you say to the child. And sometimes it might not even be what you say for everybody to hear. It might be when you take that child to your desk and you talk to that child and you encourage that child. That could be the motivation that the child needs. Nothing to do with whether you're giving a gift or you're not giving a gift. Foster curiosity. Encourage children to ask questions and explore topics that interest them. So, there must be time for children just you know, in the early years, we have what you call show and tell, where a child brings out anything from home and comes to talk about it. In talking about it, knowledge is being shared. In talking about it, confidence is being, what's the word now? Expelled. It's being displayed, you know. All of that is motivation on its own. From classroom, then you go and do it in another class, then you go to assembly, then you represent the school somewhere. You start to motivate from, you know, that level. So, motivation starts from very, okay. Share success stories and songs. I think the speaker before said something about success stories. It's engaging and, you know, it motivates. Talk about people who have excelled in their field. Talk about people that they can read about. And if you can, talk about people that is close to home for them. Use varied assessment methods. If you have different assessment methods, everybody has an opportunity to show what they know in the way that they're able to. So not everybody will use their pen and paper. Some people will use their technology, some people will use, what else can they use? Not pen and paper, it could be through songs, it could be through drawing, it could be through technology. Bribing is not motivation. You need to draw the line between motivating and bribing your children to learn. If you bribe them to learn, they will remain dependent on the bribes. But if you motivate them to learn, even when you are not rewarding them, they have reached that stage where they have moved from extrinsic motivation to intrinsic motivation. So please ensure that it's not do this and get this. Now I said I was coming back to this. Can we read together? Let's just all read. If you can see it, read it. True or false? You also need to do that. So it's not about you. It's about me standing in front of you. I take off my glasses and I stare at you. And you know that you have done something that you need to adjust. And you know that it is unacceptable behavior in my class. And I do it once, twice, I will not do it 3 or 4 times. Want to adjust. Because something else, that's just the starting point. Something else is going to come after. You may be missing your playtime. You may be missing other opportunities. Okay, things I believe that we've spoken about, so I'm not going to go into this. Thomas Edison, they're going to share the secrets. So Thomas Edison, his teacher said that they could not teach him because he wasn't smart enough. And what did his mom do? Took her son home and must have motivated her son. And she taught her son. And from there, he also self-motivated and he became who he is today. Go and read about it. Know about it. Listen, life lessons, read about it, you'll get the notes. So believe you can, and you're halfway there. You need to believe in yourself. When you're being motivated, the father is saying, come on, go ahead, jump. And the child is willing to jump. This is, can you play that for me, please? And I'm just going to round up with that. Who is motivated to go? Can we go back to my group? Okay. Can you play? Okay, so the mom saying you can do it, and the child is trying to encourage herself, self-motivation. She's hopping and puffing, and she's, you know, I got this. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, That's had a positive effect on her. Ready, set, what does she do? And she did it. So it was both intrinsic and extrinsic. Tell me and I'll forget, show me, I'll remember, involve me and I'll understand. Okay, and that is the end of my slides. Was there any question I left unanswered? Okay, they're going to send the question. So, thank you very much for all being so attentive and engaging. And I'll tell you what motivated me to your response and your engagement. Thank you very much.
Please, a beautiful round of applause for